A godly day to all. God's word for our everyday God devotion for today is found in Ezekiel chapter 6, verse 9. And here's what it says. Then, in the nations where they have been carried captive, those who escape will remember me, how I have been grieved by their adulterous hearts, which have turned away from me, and by their eyes, which have lusted after their idols. They will loathe themselves for the evil they have done, and for all their detestable practices. Blessed be the reading of God's word. Ezekiel chapter 6 shows God's judgment against Israel's idolatry and faithlessness against Him. Israel, God's chosen people, were supposed to be the light for other people. They were the ones who should have influenced the nations, but they were the ones who were influenced instead. And because of this, they were led astray from God and parted from Him. This broke God's heart. We read earlier that God says, I have been grieved by their adulterous hearts, which have turned away from me, and by their eyes, which have lusted after their idols. Another translation from the New King James Version, God says, because I was crushed by their adulterous hearts, which have departed from me. We can see that God was grieved and was hurt the most every time we rebel against Him and worship other gods. Remember, God said in Exodus 20 verse 5, You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. God is jealous that He wants exclusive love and devotion from His people, and it deeply hurt Him if we have other gods before Him. So, my question for you is, how is your devotion to God? Are you making time for God? From a scale of 1 to 10, how important and first is God in your everyday life? Our time and attention can be taken away by a lot of things such as work, school, leisure, and business. Our attention can be taken by so many things in this world that we're giving too little time or no attention to God, neglecting Him because of our busyness and businesses. So for those who are struggling to make time for God, here are a few tips. First, pray for God's grace to help you make Him the priority. Second, clear your schedule to make time for prayer, worship, and meditation of God's Word. Third, start small by spending a few minutes with the Lord every day. You don't have to overwhelm yourself with long hours of praying, praising, and doing your devotion as a start. With God's help, we have to make an effort to incorporate God in our daily lives in order to grow as Christians and for our relationship with Him to flourish. At first, it may seem like a necessity or a chore, but as you continue, you will notice your time with God gets longer. And slowly, time with the Lord becomes a delight, not a duty. And ultimately, God is not grieved, but delighted and pleased with you. God bless!